It's your news now.
This is Saturday, August 22nd, and you have entered the land of overtime. Chris Dewar is enjoying a well-deserved day off, moving his beloved kids into college today. Quincy to St. Louis, St. Louis to Carbondale, Carbondale to Quincy. Doesn't sound like much of a day off to me, but either way, I have you covered for all things that are sporting in the Tri-States today. After last night's first edition of Friday Night Lights, we barely have had a chance to digest what was one heck of an opening night. Less than a week from now, all three states are in action and will be off and racing. As for today, we start with some Illinois high school golf and a good tournament, might I add, too. Let's cruise down to Westview. This is QHS's TJ Wensing on the third hole. He had about a tough 5-footer. He'd get to fall for par. Keeps the Blue Devils in the hunt for the low score. William Eversman, who had a nice week last week at the Peoria Notre Dame Invitational, sinks this short one here. He'd finished with an 81 today. Clearly not his best stuff. As we know, Mr. Eversman to keep it low each round. Gavin Freese, though, another Raider out there today. He'd sink the short par putt. Drew Eaton still out with an injury for Q&D. We certainly wish him a speedy recovery. Always fun watching him compete out there. Jimmy Patterson literally scoring points with me. Everyone else out there, I hope, too, rocking that visor like Bubba does. Very hard to do that. Reese Dreyer, a good sophomore for the Raiders. Finishing out these highlights with a tough 4-footer right there. We'll take you to the final results from today. To the scoreboard we go, and we can tell you that Edwardsville, they're going to finish in first with a 399. Quincy High in second with a 410. Centralia, they finished number 3, I should say, with 411, and Q&D a 437. How about Zach Clea at the lower round, 77 for QHS, while Jimmy Patterson had a 79. William Eversman fires an 81, like I said, and Reese Dreyer, he finished with an 83 for the Raiders. Low individual on the day was Pekin's Mason Giardini. A tough name to say right there. And Springfield's Bailey Gill, who both carded a 76. So congrats to both QHS, Centralia, and Q&D. A big season coming up for all those guys this year. Well, another week in the books for QU football. Tom Pagic and company preparing to avenge their loss in Week 1 against Northern Michigan a season ago. The Hawks are stacked in a number of different positions heading into 2015. That's had a lot to do with a young batch of players seeing the field early in their careers. One thing that will help this team is the leadership of senior quarterback Nick Lonergan. He completed 62% of his passes in 2014. He's one of the only returners who dressed in the old and new locker room for the Hawks. That shows you just how far Pagic and this team have come en route to their new facility rebuild. Even more impressive has been the rise on the field, and they're ready to take it to new heights in 2015.
It's been nice to see the growing process of these young men, and we played a ton of them. I think it was last year, it might have been 44 out of 60-some guys were redshirt freshmen, true freshmen, or redshirt sophomores as a young group coming off a 6-5 campaign. And now we're a year older with those same guys. It'll be interesting to see who adds to the mix to these returners to really maybe take the top off of the GLVC this year.
We're going to push ourselves to perfection, and we can't always reach that, but we got to strive for it. And getting better every day and maintaining our focus of what we need to do to win a conference championship, and not let all this stuff, a lot of hype and new stadium and all that stuff get into our head. We just need to maintain focus on our goals and then work to achieve them.
Well, one of those freshmen who saw action early was former Jacksonville Crimson Cody Wood. The true sophomore packed on 15 pounds of muscle in the offseason to improve his overall strength. He'll be a guy who Lonergan can rely on, along with junior Eric Poindexter at the wide receiver position.
I'm a lot more comfortable. We do have a very complex offense, and I think it's taken really everyone in the offense to learn the entire system. I mean, it took me over a year. And I'm finally to the point where I feel comfortable. I'm getting all the checks, and I'm just ready to go.
When you talk about Cody, he was trial by fire. He was in as a true freshman with a couple of his countermates, and he also doled as a kick returner, punt returner, and did a great job for us. And Cody's the real deal. He brings a great mental presence to the game. He keeps that group together with his work ethic and his production. And, some of those guys play at a high level at a young age. He's one of those guys.
Well, the Hawks had their 2nd of 3 scrimmages this fall camp today. Senior Nick Lonergan getting his offense going right here. Hooks up with Jake Braskett. He was looking quick and smooth through his routes today. Jacob Kaiser, the redshirt freshman, getting some burn as well. He'd roll out and find the true freshman, Nolan Snyder, who turns on the Jets up the middle. Big gain for him. Then it was time for Jalen James. This guy is a tank. Bulldozes his way through some tacklers, stretches across the goal line for the touchdown. The young gun showing out for Tom Pagic's crew today. Then the crafty veteran Nick Lonergan How about him? He is just so smooth with his feet, rolling out of the pocket right there. A big season ahead for Nick if his wide receivers can stay healthy, that's for sure. How about former Q&D Raider Dalen Anders toting the rock today as well? He ran hard out there. Coaches definitely noticing that. Hard-working kid Dalen is, that's for sure. Finally, we get some Cody Wood action right there. Cody thrown in the fire last year as a true freshman. You heard it from Coach Pagic earlier. Big things to come for that young man out of Jacksonville this year. Draymond Robinson using his speed, finishing off these sets of highlights. More on QU next weekend. Can't wait for the season to start. They open up at Northern Michigan 3 weeks from today. Well, we shift gears for a moment to touch base with another team in the Gem City poised for a promising fall season. The Q&D Raiders are used to winning on the pitch, I should say. Last regular season was no different. But once the postseason arrived, things were different. The Raiders made an early exit, and it didn't sit well with anyone in the Raider program. Here's Chris Dorr.
It's definitely motivational. I mean, crashing out in the first round, it's something that this program's not really used to. And, coming in the summer, we knew we had a lot to work for and a lot to prove coming into this season.
If you'd have told us we were going to score 3 goals and lose a game, I would have told you were crazy or put a large amount of money on it. But, unfortunately, the game ended the way it did. Hopefully these guys walk away with a bad taste in their mouth and use that as some motivation for the year.
Eclectic might be the best description of Q&D's new-look roster. Greg Reese describes his depth chart as running the gamut from seniors to freshmen, with potential contributors from every class in play. There are, however, some certainties to build around. Aubrey Reese, for one.
I've just been working on being more aggressive and, getting in the gym, getting bigger, playing every day, so hopefully this is a year to remember.
It's a bigger, stronger, more confident kid. He's still quiet as all get out, but I think hopefully he's going to let his feet do the talking this year. And he's got a cannon from either the right or the left, and he can hit it from distance.
And despite the graduation hits taken in the back, there are a pair of proven stalwarts to build around. First at keeper.
Last year was definitely a big shock, Just my first year really starting as a goalie, and I feel like I've come a long way over the summer, and I'm really looking forward to this year.
Yeah, it's great to have Lucas back for 2 more years. He really improved as a sophomore and got better as the season went on. He's pushed himself this summer playing for the Scott Gallagher Club, and he looks really sharp right now, and looking forward to getting him out on the field and having him control our backs.
Oh, it's a big confidence booster knowing that you can trust your goalie.
And that you have one proven stopper ahead of him as well.
Zach, he's a very strong back, just a model defender. He makes my job easy.
Yeah, right now we're looking at moving Zach to the inside and combining him maybe with Max Van Steel, Nathan Obert, and a couple of younger guys out on the wings. But I think we've found a pretty decent combination right now.
And in the quest to create offense, Greg Reese is taking no contingency off the table.
What we're going to have is Aubrey playing in behind 2 or 3 forwards, and right now those forwards are Cole Hayes, who looks really good. Coming in off of the wing, Mac or Little's filling the middle slot very nicely. A couple of freshmen possibly on the outside, and those guys, if we can get them completely healed, I think a lot of people are going to be surprised in what they have as freshmen, and I think they could score quite a few goals for us this year.
It's great to have a lot of youth in the squad, especially freshmen and sophomores, even for the future. These guys can step in, they can help make a difference on the field, whether it's big or small.
Well, a big season indeed expected for Q&D this season. We're just getting warmed up here on Overtime. More soccer when we return. Canton had their home opener today. We're also talking a little Beardstown soccer as well. They return a lot of players from last year's team. Can't wait to see what those guys can do. Also, a look in at the Q&D Lady Raiders Spikes team. All that when Overtime returns. Welcome back to Overtime, everyone. We keep it rolling tonight as Canton kicked off their soccer season today, about a year removed from their 3rd place finish at state. Gone is Cameron Durst, one of the best athletes the Tigers have seen at any sport. He will now provide his services to Columbia College. His old team, however, still off their state tournament high, it would seem, especially down over there today, I should say. Wild finish in this one. We'll get to that in a minute. Canton splitting their 2 games against Kirksville last season. Tigers off of good fortune right here, would get a free kick, and Logan Brown, ever so dangerous with the head. He gets his dome on that one, makes it 1-0 in favor of the Tigers. Kirksville answering back very quickly at the other end. It would be off a free kick as well. They'd get the volley just over the fingertips of Colin Lubbert, I believe that is. Things will be all square at 1 apiece. These two would add another. They would both head to overtime tied 2-2, and that's where the Tigers finish things off in PKs. 5-4 in penalty kicks as the Tigers get it done today. 3-2 in their opening game. They take down Kirksville. Big season coming up for them. Can't wait to see what those guys have in store for us. Well, we continue talking soccer with a team that continues to improve each season on the pitch. The Beardstown Tigers made it to the regional finals last year before falling to Peoria Christian, who went on to win the sectional championship. Even though the program is still in its early years, the players see it as somewhat of an advantage. Adam Hamilton's team is made up of a diverse group who come from as far away as Central Africa. They've all come together as one who proved to be one of the best squads in the area, and the expectations for 2015 are higher than they've ever been in Tiger Nation.
And the boys have been working really, really hard because they know this could possibly be one of our best seasons we've had so far, especially going into our 4th year of the program.
Every day, every team is working as hard as we are. We have to work harder. We have to try to outwork every team.
I think they just every single year the confidence has built up and built up and built up, and it's looking to be a great year.
Perhaps the most compelling storyline about the Tigers this year is the return of every starter from last year's dangerous offense and shutdown defense. Each one of them want to rewrite the ending from last season.
They know they don't want that again, which is pushing them even harder in practice to prepare for every single game, and that's going to make them that much ready when that opportunity comes again.
We got very tough in the regional game, so we just want to go back, and we hope to play Peoria Christian again because everybody was mad.
After that, everybody just thought, and they were like, man, it's always next year. We can be something really special next year.
That game we didn't do our best, but I feel like it wasn't our day. But I feel we can show much better this year, a lot better.
The connection with teammates goes beyond the soccer field for Beardstown, but it all translates back to their connection on the field. Each nationality brings their own style of play, and the Tigers have learned to mesh them all together, winning games and scoring lots of goals.
We're like a unique team, and that's what makes it great. And knowing different cultures and knowing how everybody moves makes it more quicker for us.
A big help and advantage against other teams is our quickness, and I think that helps us with our making good runs and just being quicker and be able to communicate in different languages.
We know each other for a long time, and we all been together for 3 years now.
Seeing the boys come together as one, and that is one thing that has grown every single year, is just us becoming more united. And I think that is backing up a lot of our strength, is we are all working hard for each other. And that's one of the biggest things that pulls our team together, is just our unity.
Now, just to give you a little bit of an idea of how much growth that program has had. 2 years ago, they lost to Sacred Heart Griffin 6-1, I believe, and then last year only lost 1-0. Team's a lot of fun to watch. One of those guys you heard from, Murphy Domitian, he had about 14 goals through 3 games last year. So these guys can score, and they can score in a hurry. Looking for a big season for them. A lot of good soccer to play around the area this come fall. It's going to be a fun season. Well, one season we're looking for some bright spots in is Western Illinois. They have an exhibition game today against Northern Illinois. They tie them 1-1. Diego Lopez, the only goal in that one, so we'll keep you up to date on the Leathernecks, how they do in the 2015 season. Well, after winning the state championship in 2011, the Quincy Notre Dame girls volleyball team has seen their season come to an end in the regional championship game the last few years. Back in 2015, though, is a strong and talented nucleus with senior leadership and one of the best all-around players in the area. Rich Meyer and his team know they have the pieces in place, but it will take the whole team to get over that regional hump.
I think it's really our confidence is going to be there this year. We're really going to be a strong team, communicated team. We're going to do really well this year.
Our whole team was juniors last year besides 2 players, so we have a lot of good players back. We have 2 of our freshmen coming up again for varsity, and they're big. They play big roles on our team, and I just think our hitters, we're working on new combos, new plays, and we have a lot to offer this year.
One of the areas we have to work extremely hard on is fixing some of our defensive areas, and if we can do that and improve our blocking, I think we're going to be pretty sound by the end of the year.
Well, offensively, this group is led by honorable mention All-Stater and Riley Hummert. Her ability to play above the net and deliver punishing kills is something this team relies on. But with the secret out on Hummer's ability, Meyer has worked his players all over the court, giving them depth in a number of positions.
What we need to do is spread our offense out, make sure that none of the teams can really worry about her too much, and let them think of that we're going to hit from any spot.
We have played like outside hitters that had to play middle, right sides that had to go middle. Like we just have hitters play different positions, so like everybody is a vital player anywhere they play.
There's a lot of options this year, especially in the front row. We know that there's strong hitters and she knows she can set whoever and they're going to get the job done.
Want to get in the way of Riley Hummert's spike, that's for sure. Q&D kicks off their 2015 campaign against Unity on Wednesday night in Mendon. Well, we are going to be coming back here shortly, but we have plenty more overtime to get to. We're going to talk a little con communication, a play you have may seen, but you might want to see it again. Happened earlier this week, provided by QU. A very, very good one on the pitch. We're talking a lot of soccer here tonight, but that doesn't mean we're going to forget about last night. I'm going to give out some game balls, 3 of them, the top 3. We're going to see who gets those. What a fun night it was last night. Also, we check you in on the Cubs and Cards. All that when overtime continues. Welcome back, folks. It's that time of the show where we get even more friendly than we already are and decide to hand out a little bit of coin to one of you lucky contestants. Pretty cool, right? As of you know, each Saturday of the month, we select the Con Communication Nominee of the Week. We give you a chance to vote on your favorite one at the end of the month. The winning play will be announced, and one of you will walk away with a $25 American Express gift card. Not a bad gig. Can't complain about a free Amex, right? Well, let's take you to the nominee. Is there really even a question of our Nominee of the Week? How about Taylor Reese? Give me that bicycle kick, my man. How about that? In QU's scrimmage against Grandview, Mr. Reese just going off. He's getting ridiculous out there. Unbelievable stuff. Letting the flow hang out, rightfully so. That man can walk the walk and he can talk the talk. Mr. Reese, your Con Communication Connection of the Week. Well, time to hand out some game balls from the first week of Friday Night Lights. There were some good ones. We start in Clark County, where quarterback Brendan Boatman put on a show. The senior signal caller helped the Indians get the win over a very good Monroe City team by rushing for 117 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also recovered a fumble in the end zone for a TD as well. Number 2 is a man who needs no introduction. MICDS New Hannibal was going to give the football to Shamar Griffith, and the Speedy Jr. toasted their defense anyway. A $182 on the ground while making 2 trips to the end zone. Shamar in the open field. Night DBs. Hannibal cruises in their home opener. He's almost halfway to 1,000 yards on the season through 1 game. Think about that for a minute, folks. Tyler Elledge tore apart state-ranked West Strand for 417 yards to go along with 4 touchdowns. A dream night for possibly the player of the year. We have to give his teammate Dalton Hill an honorable mention as well for his fumble recovery. The big man picking that up, and he's into the crib. Show it, my man. Put that ball in the air. Give us a spike, though, or something. Take the flag. Who cares? Unbelievable stuff. The top 3 game balls from week 1.